Caleb Serrano is a 6-year-old praise and worship leader from Greensboro, North Carolina. He became a social media sensation 2 years ago when a video of him singing in church went viral. He has since attracted millions of fans. Caleb has appeared on Big Shots with Steve Harvey and the Harry Connick Jr. Show. He's also performed for large audiences like Joy Fest 2017 at both Carowinds and King's Dominion.
Well, Caleb reminded me that he is 6 now. That was 5 when he started, but that was a year ago. And look at how far God's brought you. Yep, amazing. You can stand right up there. Look at this. I mean, he is professional. Dee, I just want to ask you, you know, a lot of kids like to sing, and not everybody certainly is musically gifted, but how did you as a parent decide, okay, we're willing to let him stand up in front of the church and do this?
Well, I think it was pretty much a no-brainer. He definitely blessed us with his talent at home many, many times. And I know we had a Christmas event on Christmas Day at our church, and that was the first time that he sung publicly. And it was a little different than what he does now. So once he got out there, I knew that he was ready. He was ready.
Now, whose father is Pawpaw?
My father.
Your father, okay. That's your mom's dad, huh? So talk a little bit about what that was like for you, Richard, because, you know, something happens when God calls a child to something and they stand up and they do it. And did it kind of take you aback a little bit?
You know, at first, like my wife said, I think it kind of, with us, we took Caleb's gift for granted because it became something we heard all the time. But then when we were fortunate enough to have our church give him an opportunity to sing in public, and then his grandfather give him an opportunity to sing at a different venue other than our local church, and other people started, you know, taking notice of Caleb's gifts and talents and just how the people were drawn to it. I mean, it was like watching somebody do something that they were ordained to do since the beginning of time. So it really blessed us, and it's been a blessing to know that it's not about Caleb and it's all about God.
Caleb, come over here. I just want to ask you, because I know you can see yourself right there. Yeah, you look pretty good, don't you think? Yeah, I think so too. So I want to know, do you feel famous now? Because you've been on TV a lot. I mean, you're singing at churches. You've traveled a little bit.
I feel like I'm famous. I'm like going with Tamala Mann. I'm going with Anthony Brown. I'm like where Kurt Franklin is. I'm like with John P. Key somewhere in a deep place.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because God's really kind of given you not just a gift, but really an understanding of the power of worship. Tell me how people react when you sing. What happens?
They just feel God moving in them.
Yeah. Do you feel that too?
Yes.
Yes. What do you think? You know, I sometimes think when children are young that they don't know this, but with you, I think since you're actually a 60-year-old in a 6-year-old body, so, has God given you any idea of what you want to be when you grow up?
He wants me to be a fireman and a star.
And a star. Well, yeah, a fireman is a star, really, kind of, for all the good he does, right?
Yeah.
So will you just keep on singing?
My dad was a fireman.
Well, look at that. See, firemen save lives, and that's what you're doing, even spiritually, with people, because people are moved when they hear you sing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, Dee, how do you know, this child is not just musical. I mean, he gets it. he is like a 60-year-old in a 6-year-old body. Okay. How do you keep him, how do you let him have a childhood? How do you keep him just Caleb?
Well, Caleb still enjoys to do things that children loves to do. He loves to get outside and play. He enjoys kind of ripping and running with his father. He wants to cut the grass, or he wants to do fishing.
Right.
Go fishing.
The 6-year-old, the moving, and
hey, I understand.
We're still 6. That's one blessing that I think both of us can say, is that at the end of the day, when we get home, we're still a child.
Yeah.
And you know, he has to have some correction. He has to have some guidance.
Sure.
You know, it's a daunting task, but I think God wouldn't have put it up to us if we weren't up for the challenge.
Yeah, so figuring out how, you know, when to release the gift and when to pull it back in is for sure a big deal. You just had an opportunity to go down to Houston. Tell me about what happened there, Richard.
I think for me, the biggest thing that happened was there was a lady from Africa who was traveling to come and see some people in Houston. And she said that before she had came to Houston, she was watching Caleb every day as inspiration in the morning.
Wow.
And she had no idea that we were going to be there. She had no idea that Caleb was going to be able to sing. But just able to see somebody from all the way from across the world that traveled, how God put them in the same place at the same time, just for us to meet and just for her to share her story of how Caleb has blessed her life on a whole nother continent.
Yeah.
Was just God letting us know that we're definitely in this for the right reason and we're doing it for His glory and it's working.
And you were down there to bring hope to people who've had some pretty devastating times.
Oh, yes.
So what an opportunity to be a blessing. Hey, when you sing, do you get nervous?
No.
Not a bit? Not ever?
No.
No. And how long does it take you to learn a song? Like when you decide you're going to sing something new?
1 minute.
1 minute? Woo, you are something. And when you, let me ask you this, when you sing that song, what are you thinking? What do you want God to do when you're singing?
I want Him to change around in my body and think if I'm gonna do this song or not.
So then He helps you choose the songs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
What I sung today was my favorite. The pretty much all night, all day.
All night, all day. Yeah, you really, I mean, you know how to hold a microphone. You get the crowd involved, right? How do you get people in church to worship with you?
I get them to praise God. As long as they praise God, I'm with them.
Great. And you know what? As long as you praise God, God's with you, bud.
Yes.
Okay. What a treat to have you. We want you to know you can hear more from Caleb, including his live 700 Club performance. That's what he's talking about today. He sang for us. Go to cbn.com and you can check it out there. It's worth the visit. Thank you, Dee and Richard.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing the gift of Caleb with the world so well. Good to have you here.